This is Chris Davis with today's Stay Married Movement tip. And in Proverbs 29:11, it talks about communication. It says this: like apples of gold in settings of silver is a word spoken in the right circumstances. In communication, timing is everything. I mean, have you ever been engaged in something that you found interesting that your spouse really didn't find that interesting? Why? Because if you're watching your favorite TV show, they come in and they interrupt you and they say, hey, I want to talk to you about this, or they go into full-blown deep conversation. Also, they ask you a barrage of questions. That's another way to interrupt. But guess what? There's a time and place for everything. When either of you is deeply involved in an activity, then that's definitely not the time. This is a time where if you do go into interrupt, that guess what's going to happen? An instant argument. You're setting yourself up for an instant argument. So let me give you guys two things that you can do. First, you want to take some time to be aware of what it is your spouse is doing before you just yank them away from what they're doing or just interrupt what they're doing. Before you enter the conversation with your spouse, you want to say something like this to yourself. How engaged are they in what it is that they're doing right now? You want to get curious. You want to gauge the scene, all right? Set your communication up to work, to be successful. Because if you just bust in, guess what? You're going to meet with an instant argument. Also, the second thing you can do, if now is not the time to talk, ask them when would be a good time to talk. And then let them finish whatever it is that they're doing right now. All right? Whatever it is that they're doing right now, and then come back and you guys can talk at the agreed upon time. And then guess what? This is why you want to do this. You don't want your spouse to be half listening to what it is you're saying and trying to watch the game at the same time, or half listening to what it is you're saying, or watching their favorite TV show at the same time. You want their undivided attention. It also helps you not to be frustrated when you come in and have something to talk with them about. Why? Because if you're frustrated, you want to talk to them about something, you give them that frustration, they might get defensive back with you, and guess what? You're setting yourself up for another instant argument. To stay out of the argument zone, you can say something like this. You know, I have something I would like to talk to you about. Is now a good time? Or when do you think that we can talk? That is so respectful. That is so loving. Why? Because remember, in communication, timing is everything. So the next time you see your spouse fully engaged in something, respect them enough and your message enough to schedule the appropriate time to have the conversation. This has been this week's Stay Married tip. This is Chris Davis with Stay Married Movement. Click subscribe below to receive weekly tips that are designed to help you and your spouse to stay married for life. Also, if you want to hear some other tips that you want specifically to be covered, put it in the comment section below. Remember, when you bring your marriage back to Christ, you position yourself to stay married for life. God bless. Hey babe, is now a good time for us to have a conversation? See? When would you like to talk?
Never. Quit talking to me. I'm reading.
Well, it doesn't work all the time, but guess what? Hopefully it works for you. God bless.